Hey guys, it's Jenny here again. I just finished my January and February book haul wrap-up, so now I'm going to do another March TBR, so I'm going to have to edit the other video where I did both my January, February wrap-up and March TBR. So I have 7 books here for my TBR. I really am hoping to get every single one of these read. I'm determined. I need to read more, and I'm gonna do it. Okay, so number 1 is what I'm currently reading, and which I will not finish until March, which is in really soon. I can't think of the date right now, so first, Three Dark Crowns by Kendari Blake is what I'm currently reading. I'm 135 pages in, right there. This book has always intrigued me. I bought it solely for that reason. I'm like, I need to have this book. But I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then I got into Twilight, which I simply adored. So Twilight put me in this giant book slump because her writing was so good and they did such a nice job with the movies that I didn't want to be in any other book world except for that one. But I'm forcing myself to read this book, and I was really bored, and I'm like, oh my god, is this book ever just gonna end? Because I was forcing myself to read it. But I'm sorry, there's a tractor going by. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really loud. Yeah, so at first I was like, this is so boring, solely because I'm forcing myself to read it. But it's actually getting super good, and I'm excited to see how this turns out, honestly. So that one I'm reading first, obviously. Secondly, after I finish Three Dark Crowns, I'm going, oh, I better read you the synopsis for Three Dark Crowns. In every generation on the island of Fenburn, a set of triplets is born. 3 queens, all equal heirs to the crown, and each possessor of a coveted magic. Mirabella is a fierce elemental, able to spark hungry flames or vicious storms with the snap of her fingers. Catherine is a poisoner, one who can ingest the deadliest poisons without so much as a stomachache. Arsenal, a naturalist, is said to have the ability to bloom the reddest rose and control the fiercest of lions. But becoming the queen crowned isn't solely a matter of royal birth. Each sister has to fight for it, and it's not just a game of win or lose, it's life and death. The night the sisters turn 16, the battle begins. The last queen standing gets the crown. So, this is really intriguing. There's kind of a bunch of twists that you think is going to turn out, judging by the synopsis, but actually don't. So, I'm really kind of wondering where this is going to go, but anywho, the next book I will be reading after Three Dark Crowns is Everything by Nicola Yoon. I am so unbelievably excited for this book, honestly. I first seen the trailer for the movie that's coming out in May, which I'm going to see. And then at the end it said, based on the best-selling novel, and I'm like, say what now? And I obviously needed to get it after that, so I did. And if anybody doesn't know, which this book, movie is so popular right now, I don't know how you haven't, but if you haven't, I will tell you. The synopsis is, my disease is as rare as it is famous. Basically, I'm allergic to the world. I don't leave my house, have not left my house in 17 years. The only people I ever see are my mom and my nurse, Carla. Oh, Lord, my best friend would love hearing that name. But then one day, a moving truck arrives next door. I look out my window and I see him. He's tall, lean, and wearing all black. Black t-shirt, black jeans, black sneakers, and a black knit cap that covers his hair completely. He catches me looking and stares at me. I stare right back. His name is Ali. Maybe we can't predict the future, but we can predict some things. For example, I am certainly going to fall in love with Ali. It's almost certainly going to be a disaster. And it just sounds so good. I can't wait to read it. That's also why Three Dark Crowns is going so slowly for me, is because I'm looking forward to everything so much, like I can't even stand it. Okay, so after Everything, I'm going to be reading Origin by Jessica Curry. So when I was trying to decide which book I wanted to read first, I read a couple pages and everything in like all the books that I had picked out. And I read up to page 13 in this, and honestly, I was tempted to read this before Three Dark Crowns. It was really good. So, the synopsis for this one is, the jungle hides a girl who cannot die. Pia has always known her destiny to start a new race, a line of descendants who will bring an end to death. She has been bred for immortality, raised by a team of scientists in a secret compound hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest. Now those scientists have begun to challenge her with the goal of training her to carry on their dangerous work. For as long as she can remember, Pia's greatest desire has been to fill their expectations. But then one night she finds a hole in the impenetrable fence that surrounds her sterile home. Free in the jungle for the first time in her life, Pia meets Io, a boy from a nearby village. Unable to resist, she continues sneaking out to see him. As they fall in love, they begin to piece together the truth about Pia's origin, a truth with consequences that are nothing less than deadly. And I can honestly vouch for Jessica Corey when I say that I read one of her books, Kalahari, and it was amazing. Not to mention the copy that I got has an amazing cover. It's like a silver lion with purple and pink kind of pastel background, and I just love it. Oh, which one do I read next? All the rest of them have sequels except one, but I want to read the ones that have sequels, but okay. I will read The Cage by Megan Shepherd. This book really intrigues me. I am such a person for judging a book by its cover. Everyone tells you not to, but I just can't help it. If a book cover doesn't look interesting to me, I'm not going to read it. If it looks interesting, I'm going to read it. I am so captivated by book covers. It just happens. So, man, my mouth is getting dry. When Cora Mason wakes in a desert, she doesn't know where she is or who put her there. As she explores, she finds an impossible mix of environments. Tundra next to desert, farm next to jungle, and a strangely empty town cobbled together from different cultures and time periods, all washed over by eerie black windows, and she is not alone. 4 other teenagers have been taken: a beautiful model, a tattooed smuggler, a secretive genius, and an army brat who knows too much about Cora's past. None of them has a clue as to what happened, and all of them have secrets. But when their mysterious jailer appears, a handsome young guard called Cassian, they realize that their captivity is more terrifying than they could ever imagine. Their abductors aren't from Earth. They have taken the 5 teenagers to an otherworldly zoo where the exhibits are humans. This is like sci-fi, alien-y. Ooh. That was so dumb. I'm so sorry. When a forbidden attraction develops between Cora and Cassian, she realizes that her best chance of escape might be in the arms of her own jailer. So that would mean leaving the others behind. Can Cora save herself and her companions? And if so, what world lies beyond the walls of their cage? Ooh. Okay, so that one has 4. They both have 4 books in them. But this one, okay. Then, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I had full intentions to read this book. I really did. But I just haven't gotten around to it. So, everyone keeps telling me how good it is. And now that all of the sequels are coming out, I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I just really have to pick this up now. And I really want this book in hardcover. So maybe I'll take this copy to my dad's and pick it up in hardcover too. Maybe. Mare Barrows. I'm just going to have to tell you right now, every time I see that name and read the synopsis, I think bone marrow instead of Mare Barrow. I don't know. Mare Barrow's world is divided by blood, those with red and those with silver. Mare and her family are lowly reds, destined to serve the silver elite whose supernatural abilities make them nearly gods. I can't swallow. Mare steals what she can to help her family survive, but a twist of fate leads her to the royal palace itself, where in front of the king and all his nobles she discovers an ability she didn't know she had, except her blood is red. To hide this impossibility, the king forces her into the role of a lost silver princess and betroths her to one of his own sons. And Mare is drawn further into the silver world, her actions put into motion a deadly and violent dance, pitting prince against prince and Mare against her own heart. From the debut author Victoria Aveyard comes blah 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 blah. So, I'm excited to read this. I know that King's Cage and Glass Sword are out too. Okay, And next, we are gonna read this one. I've heard a lot of good things about this, but this kind of isn't really my thing. Really, I'm kind of more into fantasy, but this is kind of like romancy. We'll try it. We'll try it. The Selection by Kira Cass. I must say, the cover does intrigue me. For 35 girls, The Selection is the chance of a lifetime. The opportunity to be swept up in a world of glittering gowns and priceless jewels. To live in a palace and compete for the heart of gorgeous Prince Maxon. But for America Singer, being selected is a nightmare. It means turning her back on her secret love with Aspen, who is a caste below her, and leaving her home to enter a fierce competition for a crown she does not want. Then America meets Prince Maxon. Gradually, she begins to realize that the life she's always dreamed of may not compare to the future she never imagined. And finally, since this video is already 11 minutes, I am going to read Splintered by A.G. Howard. And I just realized since 3 of these books have sequels, I'm probably going to spend all of April reading the sequels to these books. So, Splintered by A.G. Howard. This is an Alice in Wonderland spin-off, and I'm so excited for it. I've read Heartless, I've read The Queen of Hearts, one's by Marissa Meyer. Yeah, I said that right? Yeah. And then the other one is by Colleen Oakes. And this is about Alice, not the Queens of Hearts. So, the kind of slogan at the top says, "Welcome to the real Wonderland." I keep moving around so much, I'm sorry. I just, can't get comfy. I'm too jittery. Okay. So, Allison Gardner hears the thoughts of plants and insects. Alyssa Gardner hears the thoughts of plants and insects. She hides her delusions for now, but she knows her fate. She will end up like her mother, in an institution. Madness has run in her family ever since her great-great-great-grandmother, Alice Little, told Lewis Carroll her strange dreams, inspiring his classic Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But perhaps she's not mad, and perhaps Carroll's stories aren't as whimsical as they first seem. Whew! I am beyond excited to read this. I just can't wait. I'm beyond excited for this. 371 pages of fairy tale retellings. And if nobody knows, I am such a sucker for fairy tale retellings. I just love them so much. But yeah, these are what is in my March TBR. So, I'm hoping to read them all. I'm going to read them all. I will. Just watch. Maybe I'll even read more than my TBR. If I fly through this book and this book, then these will be a piece of cake. The problem is going to be this book. Getting my reading slump boosted so that I'm not in it anymore, but yeah, TBR for March. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe below, and stay tuned for more videos. There's going to be more, because I never have enough books, but again, thank you for watching.